Good evening. Coming up tonight, the University of South Carolina will be celebrating Columbia heroes. Find out how.
The South Carolina women's basketball team continues a historic streak. Stay with us for what they achieved.
And finally, One Celebrity's Night Show is finally opening its doors to guests. Stick around to find out more.
All of that and more tonight on SGTV Nightly News.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse studio, this is SGTV Nightly News. Good evening, Carolina. I'm Finn Carlin.
And I'm Will Kronsberg. Thanks for joining us tonight.
We all know how much this past year has demanded from us, going from attending concerts and traveling with loved ones to wearing face coverings, social distancing, and seeing relatives from behind a screen. Essential workers have had to push themselves harder than ever, caring for the sick, teaching the young, or putting food on the table. Because of this, we've come to recognize and appreciate the value of gratitude, which is why the U of SC School of Music is hosting a week-long celebration for those on the front lines. This event, lasting from March 24th to 29th, consists of nightly concerts highlighting a different hero of the Columbia community every night, acknowledging their sacrifice and telling their story of the past year. It ends with a live stream concert on the Horseshoe on March 29th, featuring original music from students and faculty at 7 p.m. to honor the service of these men and women.
A Democrat in the South Carolina State Senate is calling for a limit on medical options for transgender minors. Senator Caesar McKnight of Kingstree authored a bill to ban doctors from prescribing medication to delay puberty or performing gender-altering surgery on patients under the age of 18. Though the legislation is not widely supported by McKnight's party, it is co-sponsored by 27 Republicans. McKnight has cited the age of 18 as the minimum to get body-altering surgery based on the state's laws for tattoos.
They say that a mother's love is a powerful force, which Columbia mother Alan Adkins is putting into practice. Adkins' son, 24-year-old Logan Adkins, was taken to a surgical trauma unit at a local hospital after a night and 5 points left him with broken bones, memory loss, and a possible 2 weeks of rehab. Now, Alan is fighting to make the entertainment district safer, after local authorities say that camera footage couldn't show what happened. Adkins is furious at not knowing enough about the incident, saying to WIS that it's not acceptable. More cameras and more lighting. That's all I ask. Reports now show that SC Representative Seth Rose has heard the pleas for more to be done and is seeking to get better security measures for the area.
Even though Black History Month ended in February and Women's History Month comes to an end next week, a black woman has been appointed to lead one of South Carolina's largest historical projects. Dr. Tanya M. Matthews has been named CEO of the International African American Museum in Charleston as it inches closer to completion after 2 decades of planning. Matthews is the founder of the STEMinista project and served as acting director of inclusion for the American Alliance of Museums. The museum began construction last year and plans to open in 2022 at Gadsden's Wharf, where over a third of African slaves were estimated to have entered North America. And Finn, I'm so glad to hear that they're inching towards completion and that they found a CEO to lead this truly historic project in Charleston.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Will, what a Women's Month it has been. Not only has she been appointed to CEO, but recently we saw Aaliyah Boston was trending on the Instagram's Instagram page, which is just absolutely phenomenal to see somebody right alongside us being able to see her build up that legacy over the next 4 years and be able to say that, hey, when I went to college, I knew Aaliyah Boston, and she was alongside us in our class. So, you know, what a Women's Month it has been, and hopefully the rest of the year will be just as extraordinary as this month has been.
Absolutely, it's been a historic month for women across the state.
Coming up, we have the latest on Carolina sports from our sports anchor, Brianna Walton, so stick with us.
Welcome back, everyone. The Gamecock women's basketball team is still dancing, and News 4 sports anchor Brianna Walton is here to give us the details. Brianna?
The South Carolina's women's basketball team is returning to the Sweet 16 for the 7th time in a row, as the Gamecocks defeated Oregon State 59-42 in the second round of the NCAA tournament. The game was pretty tight in the first quarter, but it would be the Gamecocks who jumped out to a 12-point lead by halftime. Although the game was high scoring, most of South Carolina's points did not come from the three-point line. The Gamecocks only made 1 out of 15 attempts beyond the arc. The Gamecocks were led by Aaliyah Boston. I know we've talked about her all season long, and we're going to continue to talk about her dominance on the court. Boston came out hot with 8 points in the first, finishing with a game high of 19 points. Boston also had 7 rebounds on the night. Destiny Henderson and Zaya Cook also finished with double-digit points. South Carolina will take on number 5 seeded Georgia Tech on Saturday. Speaking of UFSC dominance, the South Carolina baseball team beat the Citadel 8-3. Will Sanders had himself a career night with 10 strikeouts in his 5 innings of work. The Gamecocks currently lead the nation in strikeouts per 9 innings. On the offensive side, Wes Clark hit a 2-run homer for his 11th of the season, and Jeff Henrich knocked in 3 runs with a double. South Carolina goes back to conference play with a series against Florida Friday. First pitch is at 7. That's what's happening for Columbia Sports. Back to you, Will.
Thank you, Brianna. Coming up, we have the latest on all things Columbia and Gamecock entertainment, so don't go away.
Welcome back, Carolina. The return of live audiences on a talk show, as well as a university favorite event featuring goats, and maybe if you're lucky enough, might talk about some yoga too. Here to give you the latest for News 4 entertainment reporters Marissa Giray and Alona Donovan.
Thank you, Finn. Today's Women's History Month fact features former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. Born and raised in New York, Roosevelt chaired for the UN Human Rights Commission and served on the board for the NAACP. She perhaps best known for being an advocate for racial equality and human rights. Once she even held a females-only press conference. Wow, talk about that females-only press conference. How about empowering women?
Especially women in journalism like us, and then in leadership roles in general.
Yes, of course. Well, now, how about all things New York? NBC's Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, has its live audience back again at the Rockefeller Center in New York City. The seats in the studio have been empty ever since the pandemic shut New York City down. On Monday night, Fallon had 58 masked up and socially distant members in attendance for the first time since March 2020. Fallon revealed that the audience was made up of first responders who had been fully vaccinated. First responders and healthcare workers will remain in the audience for the rest of the week. And for extra safety measures, guests must take a mandatory COVID-19 test upon arrival that produces results before the showtime.
Now, that kind of makes me want to move to New York because I come from a family of first responders, so maybe I could get a free ticket to the Jimmy Fallon show. You never know.
Oh my goodness, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I know. And I know that you're a big fan of exercising, right?
Oh,
well,
yes,
I have
of
good
course.
news for you and animal lovers. Gamecock Entertainment is once again hosting Goat Yoga. This event was a huge smash last semester, so the organization decided to bring it back. It will take place this Friday on Davis Field from 7 to 10 p.m. You can log into Garnegate to find out more information and to officially sign up. Make sure to do so as soon as possible because slots are filling up. If there aren't any spots left, no need to worry. They are taking a certain number of walk-ups per session.
Let me just get out my phone right now and sign up for that immediately. I am so excited for that.
I was ecstatic to hear that they were bringing this back because I tried going last semester and I didn't get a spot. So when I was writing the story, I immediately signed up. So you might have to do it as quickly as possible because slots are filling up. When I checked, there was only 10 spots left. So.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get right on that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's all we have for you. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Marissa and Alona.
You know, Will, it's so great to hear that we're going to be doing goat yoga again. I didn't get the chance to go last semester, but I might go now. Have you ever done yoga?
I haven't done yoga like that. I definitely haven't done goat yoga.
Yeah.
It sounds incredibly interesting, and maybe I'll sign up if the spots aren't already filled.
Over last summer, I did strength yoga with my older brother, and it is hard.
Wow.
But fortunately, hopefully, you know, if we can have that goat there, might be a little bit more motivation to work a little bit harder through the exercise.
Yeah, I think the goat kind of adds to the experience, takes away from the
Oh,
pain
absolutely.
of it. At
It's
least.
not goat yoga without the goat.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, coming up after the break, meteorologist Bryce Glenn will let you know what to expect for this week's forecast, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to your weekly forecast. We're going to get started with our weather headlines for the week. To start off with, we're going to be mostly cloudy tomorrow, and the cloud will lead into some rain starting on Friday that'll continue through Saturday and Sunday. With those showers, we'll have some warmer temperatures through the weekend, and after that clears out, we'll have a clear and cool start to the week. For our high temperature trend for the week, we're going to be all the way up at 84 for the next 3 days, way above the average of 71. Then on Sunday, we should drop down to 80, and then way below the average, 68 on Monday, and then 72 on Tuesday. Today, however, in South Carolina, we were a little bit warmer across the state. In the upstate, we were at 72 degrees, 70 in Rock Hill, and 73 in Greenwood. Moving down to Florence, we were at 75. Here at home in Columbia, we were at 77. 77 in Sumter as well. Orangeburg, we were at 79. 75 in Aiken. Along the coast, a little bit cooler. 66 in Myrtle Beach, 75 in Charleston, and 72 in Hilton Head. Right now in Columbia, it's fairly warm out there at 74 degrees. We have a wind from our south at 3 miles per hour. Humidity is at 55%, so it's fairly dry. Partly cloudy with at 7:23 p.m. and our sunset is at 7:39. For this week, starting off tomorrow, we're going to be mostly cloudy at 84 degrees. Those showers will show up on Friday, mostly in the afternoon at 84. Same idea Saturday. Sunday will be at 80. Showers likely throughout the day. Monday, however, it's going to clear out, get a lot cooler, jumping down to 68 with a low of 46. Tuesday, some more clouds will show up and the temperatures will start to rise again up to 72. We'll be right back.
And finally tonight's Wolfy Wednesday features Zuma on the right and Duncan on the left, sent in by senior Stephanie Scott. Zuma is a 5-year-old Shar-Pei mix, with a hint of Chihuahua. Zuma is an old soul. We'll give her a paw when she wants attention and loves her daily walks with mom. Duncan, on the other hand, is a 4-year-old lab golden and miniature pinscher mix. He was found behind Dunkin' Donuts, where his daily diet consisted of glazed donuts, hence his name. Now, that was just such an adorable picture. They were on the bridge and they were laying down, and it just melted my heart as soon as our producer showed me.
They were so cute, and I have to love the name Duncan. A little bit of a donut aficionado myself, so it's really cool to see a dog who lived at Dunkin' and is named Duncan. That's so cute.
Now, before we close, I have to ask, Dunkin' or Starbucks?
Dunkin', but because I'm less of a coffee person, more of a donut person.
Okay, that's the right answer. I was just wanting to gauge, I was wanting to see, just wanting to make sure that you were a Dunkin' person.
Fair
but
enough.
now we're good, now we're good.
Well, that's all we have for tonight's edition of SGTV Nightly News.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SGTV@USC. To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtvonline.com. For SGTV Nightly News, I'm Finn Carlin.
And I'm Will Kronsberg. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina, forever to thee.